Hello, everyone. How are you? First of all, I'd like to welcome all of the attendees of this webinar. My name is Muhi Al-Ashmouni. I will be your host today. For the ones who don't know me, I'm the Customer Relations Manager at Kotobee. As I mentioned earlier, I've been here for almost 7 months, and I hope that you are enjoying all of the webinars that we are giving weekly in order to give you as much knowledge as you can regarding ebooks and e-learning and such things. Okay, so as you know, today's webinar main topic is creating your own branded Apple iBooks app. Okay, so before we start, I'll just want you to know the outline of our webinar. We will start with a brief introduction about ebooks, and then I'll be talking a little bit about the Apple iBooks itself, and then I will show you how to create your own branded library app. And then, of course, I'll show you the free support channels that you can use to get as much knowledge as you can about the webinar and other topics, and to reach the Kotobee team as soon as possible. And of course, at the end of the webinar, there will be maybe 10 to 15 minutes for answering all of your questions. Okay, and of course, today's gift, as always, our discount coupon. This discount coupon I will give to all of the attendees of the webinar at the end of this webinar. So make sure you complete the webinar, and I will give you the discount coupon. Okay. Okay. So we can start now. As you all know, everything is evolving around us, and this includes books. Books started with the heavy printed ones, okay, and then evolved to the software form, which is the PDF format, okay, and finally it reached the interactive ebooks, which contains all of the interactive components like videos, galleries, questions, book widgets. I'm sorry. Of course, there are many formats that support interactive ebooks. However, the most famous one is the EPUB format. Okay, so we will be talking mainly about the EPUB formats and some other formats in our webinar today. Okay, so first, let's talk a little bit about Apple iBooks. The Apple iBooks is basically an app, okay, that you can use to upload your EPUB files, your ebooks, and your PDF files to the iBooks in order to read it on your Mac and iOS devices, as well as you can upload them to the Apple iBooks store or library. You can call it both, for other users to go and search for thousands of books of other users, and they can download them to their iBooks on their iOS and Mac devices. Okay, such an app has some pros and cons. Pros like it has a very friendly user interface. It's very easy to navigate inside the Apple iBooks, and it has a simple download process. If you search for a certain book in the Apple iBooks library and you want to download it, it's a very simple process. Unfortunately, it has some cons. It's only supported on Mac and iOS only, which means you can only work on the Apple iBooks from a Mac or from an iPhone or an iPad. Okay, and unfortunately, branding is not supported. Let's say you're an author, you're a publisher, you want to create your own library app, you will still need to do it under the watermark and logo of Apple. You can't do it with your own logo or your own watermark. And so we here in Kotobee found a solution for these two problems. Okay, but before I go into this solution and we start talking about it, let me first give you a brief introduction about Kotobee. Kotobee is a complete end-to-end ebook solution. We have many products, the Kotobee Author, the Kotobee Reader, Kotobee Library, Kotobee Cloud, but today we will be focusing mainly on these two products, the Kotobee Author and the Kotobee Library, which is the solution that will solve the two cons of the Apple iBooks. Okay, the Kotobee Library is available across different platforms. You can export your library app as a web app, as a desktop app, as a mobile app, and even integrated with your LMS. Also, you can brand your library app with your own trademark. You can put your own logo, your own branding all over the library app. Also, you can upload the books dynamically. You don't need to delete the library app and re-upload it again if you just want to edit one book inside it. You can upload the books and edit them dynamically. A very important feature, you can control user permissions per books or categories, unlike the Apple iBooks library, which is public to anyone. In this solution, the Kotobee library, you can control the user permissions per books or categories using emails and passwords or promo codes. And of course, I will show you how to do so in a while. And finally, you can assign multiple authors or admins over your library. If you're going to be a team that will manage this library, you can assign unlimited number of admins over your library. Okay, so let's go and let me show you how you can create your own library and how you can manage it. But first, before we do that, let me show you a quick sample of the library solution, how it will look like. Let me reload it so you can see what will happen, what will be shown to the end user when he tries to access the library. As you see, it starts with your own branding, your own logo, your own startup image, okay, and then the library will open. Unfortunately, this library is a private library. It's created by one of our users in South Africa. It's a magazine, so we won't be able to open the books inside the library. Since it's private, we will need to log in either using email and password or using a promo code, okay? But we can navigate inside the library. We can see how the end result will look like. If I clicked on any of the books, as you can see here, all of the description, all of the information of a single book, and I will need to log in order to read this book. One more thing, if my voice cut off or if the image disappeared suddenly, just let me know so I can repeat what I'm saying again. I will assume everyone is hearing me clearly, unless any of you tell me through the questions section. Okay, so let's go back. As I mentioned, this is a private library, so it will tell me login in order to open the book inside the library app and read it. Okay, so let me show you another sample, which is a public library. I can just click on the book and it will tell me open the book. If I open the book, it will go directly to the book, which is inside the library app. If I want to go back to the library, I'll just click on the back option and I will be able to go back to the library, which has two sections, the categories. If I open the categories, it will show me the subcategories. I can go back to all of the books of the library and navigate in the whole library app. Okay, so these were two quick samples created with the Kotobee author, the Kotobee library solution. Let me go into the software to show you how to create the library and how to manage it. For the ones who are seeing this for the first time, as you can see here, the Kotobee author is divided into 4 primary panels: the edit, customize, export, and manage panels. Okay, for the edit panel, you're basically creating the content of your ebook by creating new chapters, new subchapters, by adding any of the interactive components from the right-hand side menu: images, galleries, questions, audio files, widgets, 3D images. You can add whatever you want to your ebook. You're creating the content of your ebook. After you finish this phase, you will move forward to the customize phase, where you're going to customize the look and feel of your ebook app. Okay, of course you can start by adding your own custom logo, your own startup image, by playing around with the colors of the upper bar, the lower bar of your ebook reader. Okay, this is for the design section. Okay, let me first choose the platform to be full view so that you can see the whole view of the ebook. Okay, and for the component section, you can enable or disable any of the components inside your ebook. Let's say, for example, if I highlighted this word, I will have some extra options like copy to clipboard, text to speech, Wikipedia lookup, Google lookup. You can disable any of these components, like for example the Wikipedia lookup. I can just disable it, and this way it won't be an available feature for my users. So you can do so with all of the components in this section. Finally, you can view the end result of your ebook from different platforms, like for example the iPad I was using, okay, and you can interact directly with the book as if it's an iOS app opened from an iPad, and you can do so with other platforms. Okay, so after finishing this phase, you will go to the export section, and all of these phases are for single ebooks. Here I'm talking about single ebooks. I didn't come yet, I haven't reached yet the library solution. For single ebooks, you can export it as standard files, EPUB. You can export it as a web app, as a desktop app, Windows, Mac, or Chrome. You can export it as a native mobile app integrated with LMS or even hosted online. And the last option, which is uploading it to your own branded library. Of course, there is an option which is uploading it to the Kotobee shared library, which is a public library. Anyone can access it and anyone can upload books to. But to upload it to your own branded library, you will select your library from this drop-down menu and you will upload this book to your own branded library. Okay, so from where to create the library and from where to manage it? From the Manage panel. I will go to the Manage panel. Under the Library section, you can create your new library. After you create your library, you will have access to these 8 sections. Let me take it one by one, starting with the settings. You can declare your library to be private, and you will have some extra options, like for example, you will declare the login to be using promo code or using email addresses and passwords, or you can leave both options available for your users to choose from. Also, you can synchronize annotations with backend, which means all of the notes, bookmarks, highlights of the users will be saved on our backend, and it will be always available whenever they access the books inside the library. You can enable a self-registration feature and also enable the request admin approval. This way, an email will be sent to you when any of the users try to register. A very important feature is the device DRM, which is limiting the number of devices per user. This is actually for security reasons. Let's say you're using promo codes to access your library, and you gave me a promo code to access your library. I used this promo code to access it from my laptop, and then I gave it to my friend to access your library. Of course, this is an unauthorized situation, and you have already declared it to be one device per user. If my friend tried to access the library from his laptop using my promo code, it will tell him that he has reached his maximum number of devices because I've already used the promo code from my laptop device. And you can insert any number of devices per user in this text field. Another very important feature is the offline support. If you're going to export your library app as a mobile app, Android, iOS, or Windows Phone, you can have an offline support feature, which means that your users can access the library app and the books inside the library while they are offline without internet connection. Okay, this is basically for the settings. For the customized section, it's the same as customizing a single ebook. However, here you can customize your whole library app by adding your own custom logo, your own startup image. You can play around with the colors of the bars inside your library app. Okay, and in the components, it's the same. You can enable or disable any of the components from all of the books inside your library app. Okay, for the books section, as I mentioned, you can add books dynamically, so you can add, edit, or delete books while the library is live and online. If you want to edit any of the books, you can just click on download to edit, and the book will be downloaded in the edit section. After you finish all of the edits, you'll just click on apply online. Okay, and for the categories, it's the same as the books. You can add, edit, or delete categories and subcategories while the library is live and online. For the users section, which is a very important section for adding your users, you can add users by 4 different ways. The first way is adding the users one by one by inserting their email and adding the user as a global user. After that, you can either activate the user or send an activation email. And in both ways, an email will be sent to this user asking him to create his own password. Okay? By default, a user is a global user. He can access the whole library. You can access all of the books inside your library. So to change that, if you want to give him permission for certain books or certain categories, you can just go to the permissions tab and you can remove the old permission, and you can give him a permission for a certain book or a certain category. Let me give him a category, the samples category, for example. Click on add, and it's added. This user will only be able to access the category, the samples category, and the travel magazine book. He won't be able to access any of the other books or categories inside my library. Okay? So this is the first way to add users. The second way, if you already have a bulk of users and you want to add them all at once, you can just click on Actions, import from an Excel sheet, and you will download our template, fill it with your users, and you can import this file, and all of your users will be added to this table. And also there's a feature of sending an email to all of them all at once, asking them to create their own password. Okay. The third option to add users, let's say you have a website where you sell your ebooks from, and you want the addition of users to be automated. So in this case, you will use our user integration API. It's available on our support website, support.kotobee.com. You can find the user integration API. It's very simple and very straightforward. They are just post variables that you can use after the payment is made on your website. You can send a post variable to the library account with the user information, and this way the user will be added to this table, and also an email will be sent to this user asking him to create his own password and start accessing the library and reading the book that he had just purchased. Okay, so these were 3 ways. The first way is the same as the user integration API, but for WordPress websites. If you have a WordPress website where you sell your ebooks from, you can use our WooCommerce plugin. It's also available on our support website, and it has the same use of the user integration API. It will automate the addition of users from your WordPress website to the library account. Okay, so this is for the users section. For the promo code section, it's basically like the users. However, here you're not dealing with emails and passwords. You're just creating codes. You can click on create global code. A code will be created that you can change its name. Let's change this, for example, to webinar. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And click on enter, and it's created. You can give this promo code to anyone you want to access your library. Okay, and like we did with the users, you can change the permissions of this webinar to give it access to a certain category or a certain book, or you can make it a global promo code. Okay, let's say you want to create a number of promo codes all at once. You can just create one code and click on create similar, and let's say I want 100 promo codes, so you will just enter 100 number of copies and click on create, and 100 promo codes will be created in this table. You can then export it to a separate Excel sheet if you want by clicking on the actions and export to an Excel sheet. Okay, so this is for the promo code section. For the export section, we have different formats that you can export your library to, unlike the Apple iBooks, which is only supported on Mac and iOS. For the library solution here, you can export the whole library app either as a web app. In this case, a folder will be downloaded to your desktop containing all of the default files of your library app, the HTML, JavaScript, CSS. You can take these files and you can upload them to your website using FTP. Another option is exporting it as a desktop app, Windows, Mac, or Chrome app. For example, if you exported it as a Windows app, the .exe file will be downloaded to your desktop. You can access your library directly from this file. Also, you can export your library as a native mobile app. either Android, iOS, or Windows Phone. For example, if you want to export it as an Android app, the .apk file will be downloaded to your desktop, okay? And then you can take this .apk file and you can upload it to your developer account on Google Play. This way, all of your users will just go to Google Play, search for the app name, and they can download the library app on their Android devices, okay? The last option is integrating it with LMS. If you already have an LMS, then you can export your library app as a SCORM file. A zipped file will be downloaded to your desktop. You can then take this file and you can upload it to your LMS. The last section of the library is the admin section. As I mentioned, you can add unlimited number of admins to your library. They will just need to go to kotobee.com and register as free users. Each one will get a serial number. You will add them by their serial number from this text field. When you add an admin, you will have to choose if this admin is going to be an author or an administrator. An administrator will be able to access all of these sections of the library, the 8 sections. You will be able to edit anything inside your library. If the admin will be an author, then he will only be able to access the books section. He will only be able to add, edit, or delete books inside your library app. Okay, so this is basically the Kotobee library solution. Let me go back to our presentation to show you the free support channels that you can use. Starting with the webinar recordings, you can find them either on our YouTube channel or on the webinars page, kotobee.com/webinars, and you will find all of the webinar recordings of the previous webinars at the end of the page. Also, there are step-by-step online video tutorials on our YouTube channel, and of course the knowledge base articles, which are basically user manuals. They are available on our support website, support.kotobee.com. And finally, to reach our team as soon as possible, either by email, online chat, or by phone. Okay, now finally, the discount coupon for all of the attendees of this webinar. It's a 10% discount coupon. It's valid for 48 hours, 2 days, starting from now. Let me write it in the chat section here. Okay, it's sent to everyone. And now your questions are welcome. Okay, a question from John. He's asking, where can I use from where can I use the webinar code? Okay, let me close the presentation. You will go to our website, okay, thekotobee.com. You will use the webinar code when you decide to purchase any of the licenses of Kotobee. Let me go to the downloads and pricing, and let's say you've decided to purchase a library license. So you will go to the Kotobee library, explore pricing options, okay. You will decide which license you want. Let's say you want the first license, which is up to 10 books, $100 per month or $1,000 per year. Let's say I want to pay an annual fee. So you will choose the annual fee and you will click on buy. Okay, so if you're already a user, you've already registered on Kotobee, then you have a serial number. You will enter your serial number here and then you will add your coupon code in here. Okay, and then you will sign in and proceed with the payment process. If you're a new user, then you will add you will state all of the information required here, and then you will add the coupon code here, and then you will continue with the payment process. Okay. Another question from John also. He's asking, can he have a library with unlimited number of books? Yes, John, you can. Let me go back to the pricing of the library option. As you see here, the library license depends on the number of books and the number of users. It starts with the up to 10 books and 1,000 users, and when increasing the number of books or increasing the number of users, the subscription amount will increase. So yes, we have an unlimited number of books library. It's for $1,000 per month or $10,000 per year. Okay, Adam is asking a very good question. He's asking if he created questions from the Kotobee author, can the answers be sent to his email? Yes, Adam, this can be done. Let me go back to the edit panel. Okay, here in the edit panel, you can create questions. Okay, let me go to a question that I've already created earlier. Okay, so in the questions tab, when you create a question, you have access to these three sections. The questions tab for creating the questions themselves, and we have four different types of questions: true and false, multiple choice with a single answer, multiple choice with multiple answers, or a short answer open-ended questions. Okay, in the options section, you have some extra options. One of them is sending to an email, but you will have to be using either a cloud ebook subscription or a library solution, which is the one we're talking about in this webinar. If you already have a library, then yes, you can use this feature, which is sending to an email. This way, when the user, let me go to the preview mode to show you how it's done. When the user submits the answers, click on Submit Answers. A report will be shown to him. You can choose to not show him the report. And in the same time, the answers will be sent to your email along with the user's username. Okay. Okay, Christopher is asking, from where can I chat with your representatives? You will have to go to our website. Okay, if you want to chat directly with the representative, you will have to go to kotobee.com. Okay, when you scroll down, you will find leave us a message. You will just insert your name, email, and your message, and you will start chatting with one of our representatives. Okay, a very good question from Ben. Ben is asking if he added users to his library account, then emails will be sent to them. Will it be sent with the Kotobee name and the Kotobee watermark, or his own branding and logo? Okay, let me go to the Manage panel of the library. It's available in the settings. You will have here email settings. Okay, by default, the email sent will be with the Kotobee name and the Kotobee watermark, but you can change this. You can insert your own name to be the sender name instead of Kotobee. If the user tried to reply to this email, it can be replied to the email that you provide in this text field under email address. Also, you can choose the content language of your email. We support 17 languages. Okay, and you can place your own header and your own footer to replace the Kotobee header and footer. So it will be with your own branding and your own logo. Okay, a very good question also from Ben. He's asking because he saw the starting page. Can the starting page be the categories, not the books? Yes. As you can see here, you can choose either the starting page of your library when the library opens. Either it will open on the all books, or it can open on the categories, and the user can choose the category that he wants to access. Okay, we have some other questions. Okay. Simon is asking a question. Can I create different categories and I make user? He's asking about if you want a user to see a certain category, but he won't be able to see the other categories. Okay, Simon, I understand your question. It's also from the settings. We have here an extra option if you're going to choose it to be private, which is the authorized books. You have three options to choose from. Either show him all of the books, which means a user will be able to see all of the books, but he has maybe you have 5 books and the user has a permission for only 2 books. He will be able to see all of the 5 books, but he will only be able to access the 2 books that he can access, that he has permission over. Okay. The second option is show authorized books only. So in the same scenario, if you have 5 books and a user has access over 2 books only, he will only be able to see these 2 books. He won't be able to see the other 3 books. Okay. The last option is show authorized books under my books tab. Okay. Let me go to the medicine. There will be an extra tab here, which is called My Books. So in the old books, I will be able to see all of the books inside in my library. But in My Books tab, I will only be able to see the books that I have access over. Okay, Simon also is asking about the discount coupon. I think you came late a little bit. How much discount is it? It's 10% discount, Simon. You can use it while purchasing any of the licenses of Kotobee from the pricing page, and it's valid for 48 hours starting from now. Okay, guys, so I think this is it. If you have any other questions that pop up in your mind while working with the Kotobee platform, don't hesitate to ask. Just send us an email or through Skype or the chat on our website, okay? And we will be more than happy to help you. The webinar recording will be available maybe tomorrow. A follow-up email will be sent to you with the link of the recording, and it will also be available on the webinars page, which is kotobee.com/webinars. As you can see here at the end, at the bottom of the page, you have the recordings of all of the previous webinars. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this webinar, and thank you very much for attending.